Pretty nice sunset going on out here. I was going to walk around down to Crane's Roost a little bit, but there's a ton of people there, so I'll just sit right here for a while. I was inspired to make this video this morning talking to my local union steward at the office with a couple other guys. He was talking about some of this, crazy shit you see on YouTube. Some of these people. The one specific thing he was talking about was this guy who, I guess apparently had a video. He's talking about how you can't be fired just for calling in sick one day, I guess they were talking about this planned action that people have on November 4th or whatever, where they're talking about all these people calling out sick the day before the election. And like my friend at work was saying, maybe it's true you can't be fired for calling out sick one day, but if people know what you're doing, and the post office knows what you're saying on your social media and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, and people on Reddit and everywhere talking about this shit. I saw something today I stumbled across about, I guess people are planning to sit on their ass and not do anything at 8:30 on Monday morning for like 10 and a half minutes or something, like 1.3% of their day or some stupid shit like that. But they it's like this day they want everybody to have this coordinated sick call, everybody take off. You do something like that and the post office knows that you're doing it and that they know all these people are not actually sick. You can be disciplined for this stuff, and like my union steward was saying, there have been grievances filed about this kind of stuff before, and the union knows they can't win it. It's they're not going to try and defend you for doing something like that when everybody knows that you're not sick and they know what's really going on. They can maybe not fire you, but they can put you on restricted sick leave, and then every time after that you call in sick, you'd better have documentation, and then if you don't, it starts you up that ladder of progressive discipline. And like this guy was saying, the people on YouTube who told you, yeah, don't worry, they can't do anything, they're not the ones who are, sitting at home for 6 months not getting a paycheck. You are. They'll still be getting their paycheck. All the people who are filling your head with all this stupid shit on YouTube. You have to understand that these YouTubers are YouTubers, all right? They're not there, okay, they say they're there to educate you and to look out for you and to help you. They are there to grow their YouTube channels, all right? That's the purpose of a YouTuber. If somebody is trying to educate you, they're not making 3, 4, 5, 6 videos a day every time they get a break in their postal vehicle, sitting there and put a little letter in their pocket to cover up their eagle, which is trademarked, or turning their hat around backwards like they're an FBI HRT sniper or something, to make a video 6 times a day telling you the exact same thing, and just to get you revved up and get you all fired up about how bad the contract is. They're doing that to get views and to boost their watch hours, okay? They're not doing it to try and educate you. If they were trying to educate you, they would have some material to talk to you about, and it would be something useful instead of just something, this bomb throwing shit to get everybody all fired up and boost engagement on their channel just to get people in the comments saying, yeah, fuck the post office, fuck the NALC, It's not about educating you. If they were trying to educate you, they wouldn't put out a bunch of 4 or 5 minute videos and spend the first 2 minutes begging you to smash the like button and subscribe and become a member of their channel and donate money to this place. And, oh yeah, don't forget, we've got merch for sale. Because nothing says that you are dripping like some postal mailman's t-shirt or something, These people are trying to make money. First time I ever made a video about this postal stuff, it was because I was just answering a question. This one other YouTuber asked a question. If we got a really great contract, would that change your opinion of Brian Renfro? And I was just pointing out that since I didn't really have an opinion about Brian Renfro, obviously if we got a really great contract, that would be awesome. I would think that was great. But I got, a bunch of views and stuff and watch time on it. And so I thought, okay, I'll make some more videos about some of this postal stuff. And honestly, my wife watches that stuff more than I do. What my watch hours and all that stuff are. She knows more about our channel than I do because, I just never pay attention to it. But it was very cynical. Just, okay, fine, that's getting views. I'll make a few videos about it. And unfortunately, instead of just doing like everybody else out there and just continuing to pop out a bunch of videos every day talking about how the NALC sucks and how Brian Renfro is a drug addict and a drunk and how horrible he is, and letting people just get on there and bitch about, all these people suck, I actually decided, I should make a video pointing out some of the stuff on the other side. And my people don't like that, People don't want to hear, even one person said, well, why don't you make a video, give some people some good advice to the new people. Unfortunately, the video I put out, it advised them to do things like show up with a good attitude and do their job, which is not what people want to hear. This minority of carriers who are on YouTube, in this little echo chamber where they all cross-pollinate and boost each other like a bunch of, like right-wing talk disc jockeys or something. That's their job, is to get people fired up, to keep people angry, to keep them coming back, to vent a little bit more every day. And that's their purpose, because they're getting views on YouTube. They caught this wave and they're going to stay up on their board and ride it until it peters out right in by the shore. Brian Renfro, he created a whole new subgenre of YouTube people, The whole time everybody was waiting on the contract, you had people tuning in looking for information about the new contract. And so you had these people stepped into that little niche market, and every little rumor, they had a video about it. Some of these people, it's just every day they had 2, 3, 4 videos about it. The same thing. It was just, like I say, the first couple minutes of it was, subscribe, do this, blah, blah, blah. And then once you got to what the, past the spiel and the real deal, you found out that the real deal part of it was just, there's a bunch of rumors and nobody knows. But then once the contract was actually delivered, then the real party started, because now everyone can see that, Brian Renfro talking about how historic it was going to be and everything. And then he comes up with a couple of 1.3% raises and some COLAs, and everybody is freaking out because they're all sitting around fantasizing about, we're going to get 19%. Or then they're talking about dock workers and Boeing and people like that. Those people are turning down 35%. Like that has something to do with us. And all these people now have this fantasy about striking. I made the one video about why there's not going to be a strike. And someone told me, Article 16, know your facts before you make a video. And people have got this in their minds just because a bunch of YouTubers shared all this shit about Article 16 in the NALC Constitution, that there's going to be a strike or something. Let's look at the facts about that whole thing. That Article 16 says that if there's a contract, it's voted down, then you have the option to go in to get another contract offer, negotiate something. If that's voted down a second time around, then the president, the NALC president, may call for a work stoppage or binding arbitration, or I think it said some other kind of work action, which is a nebulous term that doesn't really mean anything. We all know, especially if we're talking about Brian Renfro, that it's not going to be a strike, okay? I mean, you want to talk about facts. The facts we have to look at are the actual situation on the ground and the people who are involved. Those are some of the facts we have to look at. Brian Renfro, after all this time he spent doing all this, leading people on, it's going to be some historic contract, and then telling us what a great deal he got us with with what it is, he's not going to shut down the Postal Service and have a strike because there are people who vote no on it, okay? first of all, to even get to that point, we'd have to get a no vote on it. And that's one of the things I was talking about with my friend at work this morning. He was pointing out that, like, thinking the last contract or whatever, maybe like something like 125,000 people, I think, voted yes on them, and maybe about 30,000 voted no. So let's say that holds true this time, As he pointed out, most of the people right now are, new at the lower end of the scale. They're going to vote yes for it because they're the ones who are getting a nice big raise out of it and getting a boost, and it's going to be really good for them, So you figure most of them are probably going to vote for it. There's a lot of people like me and other people on the top end. We're going to get, like at least like what, $4,000. That's just if you make 40 hours a week, something like $3,800 or $4,000 in back pay, and then plus we'll be making another $350, $400 a month as it is. That's what my union steward says. Basically, the way he's looking at it, it's only like a contract for another year anyways at this point, And in the meantime, it's quite possible Renfro is going to be voted out, and people will probably bargain a little harder for something more the next time around. But to even get to the point where you could think about a strike, you'd have to have 2 contracts voted down, okay? And that's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. Say you had 150,000 people vote. That means you got to have, say, like 75,001 who vote no, and 74,999 vote yes. Is that going to happen? I seriously doubt it. You have to understand that the people who are out here on social media being loud and strident about all this stuff and making a huge issue about this and talking about striking and having everybody call off sick one day and all this, that's a small minority of the actual postal employees. Just because that group of people is the loudest and angriest, that doesn't mean that it's the largest. It's a small group of people making an awful lot of noise, and that has nothing to do with the vote. The vote is the vote. So people can be on YouTube and social media and Reddit and wherever bitching about this stuff all they want. But unless a majority, more than 50%, vote no, it doesn't matter, okay? And all these people who are out there talking about how we got to get Brian Renfro to resign, would you resign if a bunch of people who spent the last year and a half calling you a drug addict and all this kind of stuff and treating you like shit said, oh, we don't like you? He already knows that these people don't like him. He's not going to resign because you got a few people whining about this stuff. I know it might be more than a few. Obviously, there are a lot of people unhappy with the final product, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to vote no. So that's the first hurdle you'd have to get past anyways. And if there were 2 no votes and it got to the point where he decided that he could, call for a work stoppage, he also would have to understand that there are a lot of people like me out there who would just quit the union, okay? I'm not staying at home from work, okay? I don't, they can say what they want. Even if they were to, somehow magically get to this point where they're going to have a strike, you've got an awful lot of people like me, I don't know, maybe thousands or tens of thousands of people who just say, you know what, I'm still going to work. I've got bills to pay. The reason I'm working and coming to work every day is because I need the money, okay? I need a job. I'm working. And if you're in a right to work state like I am here in Florida, from what I understand, basically you can just like put it in writing to the union, hey, I quit, put in the proper form with the post office and tell them to stop taking out your money and giving it to the union. Everybody talks about our health insurance premiums are going up. Maybe just take that money from the union and pay it towards your health insurance premiums and you come out even, He doesn't want all those people like me who are going to quit the union and stop giving money to the union, how many ever dollars that is every year, It's just a kind of a fanciful idea. Aside from the fact that there's still the issue, no matter how many people think, oh, you may do this and read Article 16, we can strike if we want to. there's still a lot of material out there that would tell you that it's illegal for us to strike. There's a reason in that language where the president would insist upon us being, given amnesty, unconditional amnesty before we return to work. You don't need amnesty for something unless it's kind of like a crime, That's kind of a murky area. A lot of people now, they're all hyped up about this Article 16 stuff, and they think, oh, see, that means we can strike. Whether that's the reality on the ground, that's a totally different thing. But first, you have to get to that point. The main thing I wanted to talk about in this video, though, is all these people out there who think that they can just have some organized call-out day and nothing's going to happen. Maybe they can't fire you for just calling out sick one day, but I guarantee you, these people who are getting you all wound up on YouTube just so they can build their channels and keep the views coming in and the clicks and the engagement with their channel, they're going to be at work that day, okay? The only way those people are not going to be at work that day is if they have already managed to get pre-approved for a day of annual leave on November the 4th. Especially these people who are making all these videos about this stuff, because they know for sure, if they don't show up for work, their ass is grass, okay? Everybody knows that they've been doing all this shit and making these videos and telling people to do this. And they might even stay home. Maybe they get their day of annual leave, stay home, make videos on YouTube about it. Yeah, the great day of revolt, And the only people who are going to know that they actually didn't put their money where their mouth was and call out sick that day and took a day of leave instead are going to be the people at their own office, I don't know what they're going to do if they have to go to work that day. If they're going to sit there and make more videos in their postal vehicle while everybody's looking at them and thinking, aren't you supposed to be carrying mail today? And just try to pretend like, here I am, brave, intrepid YouTube reporter on the front lines of the movement, checking out, I came into work today just so I can see how bad we fucked the post office. All those people who are telling you this stuff, they're not the ones who are going to get in trouble if you decide to stay home from work and listen to their bullshit, I mean, I know people don't like to hear this, and anytime if I put up a video that doesn't toe the party line, for like the YouTube angry people, people don't want to hear it. And they say, oh yeah, we know, Mr. Former 204B company man, or yeah, okay, boomer. The one thing I've learned from being an old person is that when people try to tell you that they're doing something for you, they're usually doing it for themselves, all right? Unless it's someone in your personal sphere, your personal life, someone who is really close to you and actually loves you or cares about you. The only time people tell you they're trying to do something for you is they're trying to get something from you. One of the greatest all-time songs ever by Living Colour, Cult of Personality. There's a brilliant line in there where it says, when the mirror speaks, the reflection lies. And that's the way a lot of these people are on YouTube, They're giving back to you what you want to hear and telling you what makes you feel good and keeping you amped up. But what they're telling you is not the truth, okay? All these people are out there telling the angry people who hate this contract what they want to hear instead of telling them what they need to hear. Should we be upset about it? That's fine, yeah. It's certainly nothing great. On the other hand, you got people like my union steward. He's been saying the whole time, everybody's saying, are we going to get this? This rumor. And he's like, look, man, he's been consistent all the way through. Look, these people are just telling you this shit to get clicks on YouTube, okay? We're going to get the same thing we always got, which is 1.3% and some colas. And that's exactly what we got. But they got everybody all excited about these unrealistic expectations to keep on getting clicks and views. And now when everybody's hopes were dashed, now they keep on getting everybody amped up and keeping them all fired up about it to try and keep on getting clicks and views. Because the only thing these YouTubers care about is building their channel, okay? you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months to get your channel monetized. And then once that happens, you need to keep on getting views to start making money then. And people will tell you, how do I get my channel monetized? Well, you got to make longer videos and more frequent videos. You know, you make videos like 3 minutes longer and you get 1,000 views. That's 3,000 more minutes. That's like another 50 hours of watch time, you know? The people who are doing this stuff and telling you these things, they're leading you down a path that is not good. I know people don't want to hear it, and they say, yeah, okay, 204B and boomer, but I'm not looking for everybody to agree with me. Well, okay, just as I was wrapping up my video, my phone ran out of storage space. So I'm here at home with my 3 cats crawling all over me. As I was getting ready to say, someone told me the only reason I took down all my other videos was because I just couldn't handle hearing how wrong my opinions were, you know? You know, the fact that someone disagrees with you doesn't mean your opinions are wrong. Maybe they're wrong, you know? And the fact that a few people who are loud and hateful want to tell you that doesn't mean you're wrong. Let's say you put up a video, gets 2,000 views. Maybe you get 50, 60, 70 thumbs up, and you get 20, 30 comments, and a couple of people telling you how stupid you are because you're not telling them what they want to hear and what all the other channels are telling them. You know? That doesn't mean you're wrong, you know? And, you know, I got plenty of feedback from people, too, who thought I was right about some stuff. They're not going to get into it with people in the comment section. As one of my friends at work said, man, you don't read the comments, you know? You post the shit, get views, and that's it, you know? You don't pay attention to that stuff. But I just don't like having all that drama going on. Whether that's good or bad or not, you know, I just don't need to have people on there acting like that and, you know, insulting me on my own channel. So anyways, these are my thoughts about this current kind of situation. About be careful, you know, that's all there is to it. Just be careful, because these people, they're thinking about their channels, okay? They're thinking about how to get views, and Ipsy thinks you should view this, and that's what it's about. Don't let people get you into trouble, okay? I know that sounds like a supervisory thing to say, and people don't like that, but sometimes we need to hear the opposing point of view and need to get some facts, whether people want to agree with it or not. They can stridently disagree. That doesn't mean that they're right. People are telling you what you want to hear and telling you what they need to tell you and what they need to say to keep getting people right now to click on their channels and to engage with them and keep watching and being revved up and made angrier. And where that anger is all going to go, whenever this contract gets approved or something, and there's nowhere for the anger to go, then what are you going to do? The contract gets approved, it's approved. You're still expected to show up for work and do your job, you know? Are all these people just going to say, screw you, I'm staying home? Okay, we'll see how that works out for them, you know? Plenty of other people out there looking for work.